Good morning, this is Brian Snyder of Your Body Never Lies. I am here to answer your questions about the Your Body Never Lies Playshop. If you have any questions about that, you can chat them in, or if you are a member of the YBNL College, you can call in on the hotline number. I've got a question here. When old trauma comes up to be released, what type of physical sensations can this produce? Depending on what method you're using, you could actually feel the actual event. So the answer is it depends on what kind of trauma. If you're talking about physical trauma, like you got hit on the arm, broke your arm when you were a child or something, if that comes up into your memory to be released, you might feel pain in your arm. And to what degree you feel it depends on so many factors. There's just no way to know. However, the key to the play shop is when you are experiencing something like that, to put your attention on your breathing rhythm, because you do not need to have attention on the old trauma for it to release. You really don't. Your body knows how to do that. You don't need to do anything. Excuse me. What we get to do is maintain that nice undulating breathing rhythm. And that's basically your energy pump. And this is not hyperventilation. We're not oxygenating our bodies. We're just maintaining a breathing rhythm. And this inflow, outflow breathing rhythm is essentially the pump that moves energy. So while you're doing that and focused on your breathing, you may feel discomfort in your arm, or you may feel or think of the thoughts that you had when it happened. However, if you start thinking about whatever comes up, or if you dive into really feeling like what your arm feels like when it comes up, you're probably going to discontinue breathing or go into a different rhythm. And that different rhythm will not release the trauma. So if you're one of the very few amazing people who can do left brain, right brain at the same time and can multitask, which I believe is pretty much impossible for humans, if you can notice your breathing rhythm and feel the specifics of the trauma as it comes up to be released, that's ideal. It's happened to me a few times, but generally, when something comes up for me, I focus on my breathing and I will feel lighter. So I know something moved, but I myself don't dive into the details because, the details, they just don't matter anymore. They don't. They are old past history. It's not actually present. And I would say the feeling, that comes up is a feeling that we refuse to feel when it happened. So you're going to feel something. And I got a comment here, I feel cold. That can definitely happen. When we get traumatized, especially physical trauma, not only does it knock the wind out of us in many cases, but life energy sort of gets separated is the wrong word, but we go out of sync with it. We go out of sync with our flow. And when that happens, we're going to feel cold. So whether your body actually does get cold or not, I don't know. The reason I say that, many details don't matter is that I don't really care too much about the fleeting details, because life is full of things that appear and disappear. Things show up, they hang out for a while, they make us think about them, or they change our lives in some way, and then they go away. That just happens with everything. And it happens in healing too. When we're healing, which simply, from my perspective, means feeling something that happened a long time ago. When those things come up, your body could interpret it in many different ways. Especially, the older it is, it's going to feel, it could feel in so many different ways. I just don't know. So So yeah, any types of physical sensations. Aha, great. Focusing on your breathing work. Exactly. Focus on the breath because it's the pump. And and the metaphor is if you're trying to move water, and so you've got a water pump, the old school kind. If you go to taste the water, you have to take your hand off the pump, right? And then the water stops. And now there's no water to drink. So what do? You go back to pumping. And you pump into a bucket and then you drink it later or whatever. But that's basically what's going on. You can't really move the energy and examine it at the same time. And I know there's lots of methods, therapies, whatever, that attempt to do that, but it's simply not possible. And that's because these knots that our bodies hold, when we start thinking about them, we fall into them. And then when we fall into them, we're actually giving them more energy. So, the more you talk about or regurgitate or think about the old things in your life that you don't like, the stronger those things actually become. So on one level, focusing on the breath is just about letting those things go without giving them more energy. So what I'm proposing, what the breathing work that we do at the YBNL Playshop is essentially rebirthing light. It's just to move energy, and we don't, look for specific issues other than the original fundamental healing story that I think is video number 22 or something. So I'm glad that answered that. It's early for me here in California, Saturday morning. Hope you all are doing well. If there is a better time, if you're at the college and there's a better time for you to ask your questions, you are welcome to do live streams at the college or to request a Zoom or to chat with me at my faculty office. And if you're not a member of the college, I encourage you to join. Right now, while where's my pen? I'm going to have to find my pen. That's really bizarre. I saw it not too long ago. Well, at yourbodyneverlies.org, you can get all the information you need to join the college, which right now, the doors are just opening. There aren't many students. And there's great discounts on the value of the classes. The classes that I've put in there, when I was teaching them live, I was charging upwards of $10,000, which is, I don't know how many euros. Live online, I believe I can charge about 10% of that to get through the entire program. So, not including teacher training. So right now it's pretty low investment to get into the college and then have interactions with me and get through the material. Let's see. How did you know you had finally dealt with the first birth trauma? Well, essentially the filter goes away. So our initial birth trauma creates a filter. We all do it. If you came out of a woman, it's pretty much a guarantee that you were traumatized. And this video is not about why that is. It's about how to get over it. When we were traumatized at birth, we came up for the reason we were being traumatized. And that reason becomes the filter through which we understand our place in the world. And for most of us, it's a pretty lousy place to be. But for most of us, it's also normal and the usual, and we just sort of ignore it, and we don't pay attention to it because that's just the way life is. But the fact of the matter is, most people's baseline is a place of disconnection and wondering what's going to happen next. And that is unnecessary and basically due to that filter we created at birth. So that it's gone when you cease looking through the filter. And for most of us, the filter is not enough. And, we feel that we were being born. The reason we came up with for why we were being disconnected from our mom, which was also an illusion, is that we were not enough in some way. For most of us, it's not good enough. For some of us, it's not pretty enough, not intelligent enough, not whatever enough it is for you. Recognize or know, right now anyway, that it's not real. It's not real. It was based on a lack of information. So when you recognize that and your body ceases to be holding on to that trauma, the filter also goes away. So things that used to make you feel that you weren't enough or that you felt shy of, suddenly you'll feel brave, or suddenly you won't feel that not enoughness. Like suddenly you get more confidence at work, or more confidence in speaking to pretty girls or men or whatever. um, that's how you know. And it comes off in layers. It just comes off in layers. And it's not something where you watch the video and then you sit down and think about it and breathe for 10 minutes and then bing, you're healed. No, you do the long training, you learn how to breathe and have some success at moving energy and maintaining your breathing rhythm. And then you watch the healing story video and you dive into that while maintaining your breathing rhythm. I don't know how long it takes, however long it takes for you to feel good. And then when you feel good, you go out in the world and the not enoughness is kind of gone, but it's going to show up again. We've all had ego basically our entire life. And now you get an experience of no ego for a few minutes or an hour or a day or a week. It's going to come back. It's going to test you. So after a day or a week or something, you'll see the not enoughness somewhere else. And you'll remember why you're seeing it. You realize it's your filter. Aha. And so what do? You tell yourself that you're letting go of your initial birth trauma, and you pay attention to your breathing. Because as soon as you tell yourself that, you're probably going to stop breathing. So, and then you just breathe, and you breathe until it's easy to breathe. And the sensation for me is I get a bit of an upwelling of energy and then a release, and I feel better. And I'm exaggerating the movement, but it's like this. Depending on what your personal lie was at birth, and depending on where you hold it in your body, your sensations will be different. However, the process is always the same. It's always maintain your breath, feel your body. If you feel it here, hold your body while you're breathing. Because if you hold the place, then you don't have to be thinking about it. So just put your hand there. And this is not a dramatic breathing. This is just a rhythm. It's not drama. It's not hyperventilation. So when you do that, a layer inevitably will come off. Excuse me. And when you repeat this process, so it might, over the course of a week or the course of a month, you might repeat the process 3 times or 5 times or 20 times. And every time you do, you're teaching your body the value of breathing rhythm and also the value of letting old stuff go. Literally what you're doing through these repetitions is teaching your body how to do it on its own. So really what's fun about the class is eventually you'll be, writing your book or looking out the window or, walking your dog or something. And all of a sudden you'll notice that your body is breathing in this way, and suddenly you'll feel better and you won't know why, but you'll turn around and you'll see like your 3rd grade teacher, or, you'll see something that in the past would have triggered you. But now, instead of upsetting you or taking your attention or creating drama or distracting you in some weird way, it just turns on this breathing so that you can stay present and just enjoy life without the not enoughness or whatever the thing was. When your body gets it and your body starts doing it on its own, then you can just observe it. You can still do it consciously when you choose to, but your body's going to take care of it. And eventually you just don't do it anymore. The only times you'll find yourself consciously breathing in that way is when there's stress, and like real-time stress in your immediate environment. And then you'll breathe that way just to maintain connection and to control it or fix it or, whatever you have to do. So there are definitely levels or layers of healing that get peeled off with the YBNL Playshop. It's not a one-shot deal. But, however old we are and however long ago our birth was, there's been a lot of repetitions from then until now. And we don't have to unravel all the repetitions, but you do have to unravel some of them. There were times in my life, I was born and mine was I'm not wanted and I'm not good enough. So there were times in my life that made me feel not wanted, not good enough, and they were super impactful. And yeah, those did come up for me and I had to breathe through them. Like the girl who rejected me when I asked her to prom. That definitely made me feel not wanted, not good enough. So of course that came up as an image and as an event and as a knot in my stomach, eventually when I was doing this breathing pattern. The other part of this is, you deal with it within yourself, and that's really what the play shop is about. But you will be dealing, you will be with your negative thought for the rest of your life, and not you personally, but other people. Because when you let it go and you let this filter go, not only do you lighten up, your body literally gets lighter. The weight that you've been carrying on your shoulders will literally go away. Life will become a lot more fun, and you'll look around and you go to hang out with friends and family and they're still stuck in it. So you've got to deal with it that way. And that can also be fun. It can be entertaining. And that's why I'm into doing teacher training, because the first thing that happens when you realize your friends are still stuck in it is you want to get them out of it because you want to play with them and they don't know how. So stick with it, because when you do the play shop and you repeat it and you practice the breathing rhythm and you notice the not enoughness or whatever it is for you going away, that itself is teaching you how you let it go. And that's a really amazing thing to know, because now once you get that, you can let anything go at any time, because pretty much 99.9% of the things that bother us in life bother us because they reactivate that initial birth trauma. When somebody gives you a lousy meal at the restaurant and they basically imply that you're not good enough or not worthy of good food, right? Like, you would just laugh at them. Excuse me. We would laugh at them and realize how ridiculous that is, unless it reactivates our birth trauma, in which case part of us is going to believe them and probably get really triggered. So the way we respond to life and life stresses definitely shifts. In some ways, it becomes a lot more fun. In other ways, it becomes a little disconcerting, because suddenly you realize that people have created amazing coping mechanisms to deal with not enough, when really all they had to do was let go of their birth trauma. So when you get there, as you move through this, and B, definitely connect and share and ask your questions. And because while it does take several repetitions, you don't need to stop what you're doing to do a repetition. You do the play shop once, you learn the technique, and then it's really about applying the technique in life as you continue on with the other workshops or continue on with whatever else you want to do in life. The techniques just kind of work all the time in the background. So, yay. I'm reading, great advice. Thank you. I am feeling the shift. Well, yay. That's good news. Yay. It's working. So yeah, I'm really glad you're feeling the shift. If you'd ever like to share the shift with other people, we could do a Zoom. I'd love to get you on video to share that with people, because the problem with the whole not enoughness is that as a filter that people see the world through, right? When people see my workshop and I'm telling them, hey, you're going to feel great if you do this workshop, the first thing they think is, oh, that's not going to be not enough, right? And I don't know how you got through it, but okay, you say every time you watch the play shop, you learn more. Thank you. And I will say that that's true for me too. When I watch the play shop, there've been a few times I've been like, whoa, I said that? That's awesome. And the play shop, it's me on the video, it's me talking, and yes, I created it, but I also have teachers, and I can't really take credit for the entirety of it. I can take some credit for how it's put together, but the results and knowing how to put it together really comes from my teachers. So when I watch it, it's kind of like learning from my teachers too. Sometimes it's neat that way. If you come to the college, if you join the college, I am reshooting all of the Playshop videos. It's been a couple years. I myself have pulled off more layers and healed more things, and I believe that I can streamline it and also be very more specific and maybe make it more accessible and easier for people. And that's what I'm planning to do. So if you'd like to come join the college, come to yourbodyneverlies.org. And it's just so weird that I don't have my pen. It was like right here last night, so I don't know. Oh, there it is. All right, there's my secret. I like to be casual. So your body never lies.org. Anybody who comes here, there's a form. You can send me a note. There's also information about joining the college. And right now it is super cheap. If you want to take the first semester with me live in a group setting, like over the course of a couple weekends, the cost would be upwards of $600 or $700. And right now you can get in for that first semester with basically unlimited Zooms and unlimited Q&A with me for only $108. So that sounds good. I hope you join. And thank you too. Have a great day yourself. Have a great weekend. And I hope to see you next week. If anyone else has questions or would like to chat, go ahead and do so. And if you're calling from the college, I do have the hotline phone reasonably nearby. If it rings, I'll answer it. Otherwise, I think that's pretty good for today. We covered not enough. We covered repetitions of the Playshop and repeating letting go of not enough, and why that repetition is so valuable. Because our bodies trust repetition. And guess what? It takes a few hundred repetitions for our body to get something when we're super serious about it and we have to get it. Oh, this is really important. I really got to get this, right? You're going to have to repeat it several hundred times and probably get really frustrated and feel like you're not enough the whole way through. But if you play and you let it be fun, which is why it's a play shop, duh, it only takes a few repetitions. It doesn't take as much. If your body's having fun, it's a sponge and it'll just gobble the information up. So if you have fun while you're doing this, have fun with the exercise, be in gratitude that you're getting over this ridiculous not enough filter. It can go really, really quickly. I've seen people pop in a single weekend in the live class, like just boom, like, whoa, like literally the light turns on. Eventually, at some point, you'll get it. But, you know, it's not an intellectual exercise. What we're working on is we'd like our body to get it. You're teaching your ego. So at this college, I'm giving you exercises. You're doing the exercises and you're teaching your body. Eventually, your body's going to get it. I promise. Everybody who's been through it, who's asked me questions, has gotten through it and had amazing results. So hope to see you on the other side. No more questions came in. Have a great day. I think 20 minutes is about the max what I like to do on these. So if you haven't started the Play Shop yet, please do. And if you have, you know, watch more videos, get your questions in, come here next Saturday. I'd love to graduate you. And anybody who graduates from the Play Shop, you know, from YouTube where it's free, I'll give you a huge discount or give you the first part of the semester, or, you know, you will get a prize from me. Get through all the videos, ask me a question. I'll get you into the college, and we're going to make this a lot of fun. All right. So I think that's it for today. Have a great time. I'll see you next weekend. Ciao.